Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and today we are going to be doing my July TBR. I say this every month, but it blows my freaking mind that it's already time for July's TBR. I feel like I just did January's. I feel like I just did freaking last July's, but it's already time for July. So I am in a weird mood reading wise where I feel like I want to read, but I can't decide what to pick up. Like there are so many options and I can't decide what to pick up. And when I do pick something up, I'm like, this isn't what I want. I feel very picky right now, but I also really want to read. So it's like a really weird mood, but I put like a variety of things on my TBR. It's kind of a long TBR just because I was like, I just need variety and just whatever I'm feeling in the moment and what I'm hoping I will be in the mood for. I also have a couple of new releases like always that I'm very excited for, and a couple of audiobook releases that I'm excited for. So for the most part, it's just kind of a wild, random variety of books, but they all sound really good and I really want to read all of them. Okay, so I'm going to start with the new releases like I usually do. So the first one that I'm super excited for that I wish was coming out earlier in July is On the Shore by Laura Pavlov. I've become absolutely obsessed with Laura Pavlov and I love this Cottonwood Cove series. This one comes out July 27th. I'm really hoping I can get an arc for it. She does audio arcs and she just released the audio narrators and I'm really hoping I can get an arc for it. But it sounds super freaking good. It is a sports agent and I believe a baseball player. I think that's right. The heroine is a sports agent and I think that or a sports journalist and the hero is a baseball player. I think that's what it is. But I'm very excited. I love this family that's in the Cottonwood Cove series and I'm positive that I'm gonna love this book. Next one that I have is Meet Your Match by Candy Steiner. This is Candy Steiner's first foray into hockey romance. She's written multiple football romances, but I am very excited to read her first ever hockey romance. I love hockey romances. I think they are superior to all other sports romances. And this one comes out July 7th and the cover is super hot. I'm really excited about it. I think she said that the audiobook should hopefully be out by the end of July, so I'm hoping that I can read it. But it sounds super good and I'm really excited to try Candy's hockey romances. The next one that I have is Up in Flames by Eden Finley and Saxon James. I read everything that Eden Finley writes. This is another one for her and Saxon James. It is actually a standalone. That's the word I was looking for. It's actually a standalone and it's about firefighters. And I think it is best friends to lovers. I think that the best friend was supposed to get married and he doesn't get married and then the two best friends end up together. I think that's what it is. I think it's about the partner of like the firefighter partner of the hero from Foolish Puckboy. Is it called Foolish Puckboy? I think that's what it is. But it sounds super good. I think it'll be fun. And I love Eden Finley and Saxon James. And that one comes out July 13th. I think I said that. If I didn't, July 13th. Then I have an audiobook release for Hidden Truths by Neva Altaj. This audiobook comes out July 11th. I have been really enjoying this Perfect Imperfect series. I think it's called Perfectly Imperfect series. It's like mafia with disabilities and I think that sounds great. I really liked book 1 and book 2. Book 2 I liked better than book 1, but I still really liked book 1 and this is book 3. I think that these books are so good. They're very short, but they pack a good punch and they're a nice palate cleanser when I am not sure what I want to read. These ones are really good. Next one I have is not a new release. I think that's it for new releases, but the next one that I have is one that I'm tentatively putting on my TBR. It depends on if I get into the mood for it, but I think that my audio loan from the library is going to come in for it, so I'm hoping that I can be in the mood for it. That is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. People have become obsessed with this book. It sounds so good. It's dragon riders, there's a romance, there's chronic illness rep, and I just absolutely want to read it, but fantasy romance is hard for me to get into the mood for, so I'm really hoping that I can be in the mood when the audio loan comes in from my library, but it's gotten amazing reviews. I think my mom is currently reading it, so I'll have to talk to her about it and see what she thinks of it, but it sounds really good and I'm hoping I can read it. I've been feeling small town lately. I love small town romance and it's just what I keep referring back to, because when I'm not sure what I want, I love small town romances, so I just keep going back to them. And I've been wanting to continue Amber Kelly's Poplar Falls series for a long time. I read the first book, which is Rustic Hearts, last year or the year before, and I really enjoyed it. So I really want to read the rest of the series. And so the second one is called Stone Hearts. It's a friends to lovers small town romance, and I know that Morgan from Nothing Better Than a Book likes the series. I think it's Morgan. And so she likes this whole series, so I want to read more of it. Next one I have is One Touch by Lena Hendricks. This one comes out June 30th, so it's not out yet when I'm filming this, but this sounds so freaking good. I really liked the first book in this series, which I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. I think it was called One Look, maybe. But this one, I was talking to Jess about. Jess from Peace Love Books gave this book 5 stars, and she said that if I like Laura Pavlov and Catherine Cowles, that I'll love this book, and that just sounds perfect. I love Laura Pavlov. I love Catherine Cowles. This is a small town. It is brother's best friend and also ex-boyfriend's brother, which just sounds amazing. Sounds like it'll get some like really good like emotional angst in there. I think it'll be so fun, and I really liked the brothers when I was reading book 1, and this one is about one of the brothers, so very excited. Also, the man cover of this book, so hot. I'm so excited. Then I have been going through the audiobooks that I own, trying to figure out like what I want to read without buying new audiobooks. And so I have The Heir by Sophie Lark that I still haven't read. I still haven't read any of the Kingmakers books, and I have The Heir by Sophie Lark on audio. And so I really want to get back into reading the Kingmakers. I want to read more Sophie Lark, and so I'm going to try and read The Heir. We'll see how I feel, but I'm going to try because I've heard such good things about it. I really loved her Riddle Birthright series, so I want to read the Kingmakers. And I really just want to get to the Bully, so I have to read The Heir and the whatever the second one is in order to get to the Bully. Another audio that I happen to own that I just want to continue the series of is Fallen Jester by Devney Perry. I've read the other books in the series, and this is the next one in the Clifton Ford series that I have to read. I think this one's Surprise Pregnancy, which is why it's just like slightly been putting it off a little bit. But it sounds good. I like the rest of the series, and so I'm intrigued to see how she'll do Surprise Pregnancy. I tend to like Devney Perry's Surprise Pregnancies, so I think it'll be good. Another audio that I just cannot believe I haven't gotten to yet is Reckless Memories by Catherine Cowles. I still haven't read the entire like Reckless series, and I have all of them on audio. So this is book 1. I've had it on like multiple TBRs and just never gotten to it. I literally just forgot that I owned it and that I haven't read it yet. So I'm very excited to finally have another Catherine Cowles because I forgot that I haven't read this series. I want to read Here With Me by Samantha Young. This one is the first book in the Adair series. I haven't read Samantha Young, but I was talking to Tabitha from Probably a Love Story on Instagram when I was in Texas, and she was telling me about the Adair series by Samantha Young and what she was saying made me want to read it. It sounded really good, and so I really want to try it out and see if I'll like it. Plus the audiobooks are available for the whole series on Hoopla, and so I wanted to do that. I want to read Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is a really popular book. I first saw Nikki from Nikki and Bookland talk about this, and then people have like been reading it and loving it. Tori from Novel Life absolutely loves this series, and I just am excited about it. I think it takes place in Ireland, which I love. I love Ireland. And I think it's rugby. So sports romance, Ireland sounds up my alley. I do think it's very emotional, but we're gonna try it out. Then I have Fighter by S. Massery, which is book 2 in the, I can't remember what the series is called, but the first one is called Thief, and it's a Why Choose romance series. It's like Why Choose dark romance. It deals with like gangs and reminds me very much of Madison Kate by Tate James. I'm currently reading book 1 and I'm really liking it. So this is book 2 that I want to read in July. The next one is When She Belongs by Ruby Dixon. If you saw my book haul that I got from Texas, Ruby Dixon gave me a whole bunch of her books for free, and one of them is When She Belongs, which is Avery from Ava's Romance Books' favorite Ruby Dixon book, and so I will 100% need to read it because now I own the physical copy and I have no more excuses for why I haven't read it yet. So I'm hoping that I can get to that one in July, and I think I'll really like it. Avery talked about it a lot and says how good it is, so I think I'll like it. Then the last one that I have is Forbidden Hearts by Corinne Michaels. I read one Corinne Michaels and I didn't like it. I actually DNF'd it, and then I like just never picked up Corinne Michaels again. But when you look for like small town romances that are like similar to Laura Pavlov or similar to Catherine Cowles or similar to like other small town romances that I love, Corinne Michaels gets mentioned a lot. And so I really want to try and read Corinne Michaels that I'll like. So if you have a Corinne Michaels that you think I'll like, let me know. But the one that I want to do is Forbidden Hearts. It's a new one by her, and so many people have given it 5 stars. It's a nanny romance with a single dad, and I've started reading the ebook. I'm like 30%, 40% through the ebook, and I started reading it and I've just had a hard time reading the ebook, and so I think I'm just gonna like bite the bullet and buy the audiobook. Plus Rachel from Fit Teacher Rachel on Instagram talked about how good the audiobook was, and so I think I'm just gonna buy the audiobook and listen to it. But I really want to find more small town romance authors that I'll like, so Corinne Michaels is talked about a lot as a small town romance author, so I want to read that one. I think that's it for the ones that I had written down. I also want to try and get to Rewrite Our Story by Kat Singleton. I had mentioned that on my June TBR and I just didn't get to it. I did meet Kat Singleton at Book Bonanza. I haven't read any of her books, but I'm positive that I'll like Rewrite Our Story. It just doesn't have an audiobook, so I'm just like putting that on my TBR again just to remind myself that I do really want to read it. It's on my Kindle right now. I really want to try it. But yeah, that's it for my TBR. It's, like I said, very long, a little bit chaotic. I'm not sure what I'm in the mood for, and so I've just like reverted back to small town romance. But that's gonna be it for this video. So like it, subscribe, stick around, and I hope that you have the absolute best day.